Palestine receives support from its brotherly neighbor. His Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of Egypt, has announced that his government is setting aside $500 million to rebuild Gaza. Specialized Egyptian companies will also contribute their expertise to the reconstruction of almost 450 buildings, including 6 hospitals and 9 healthcare centers. Separately, Egypt's National Training Academy announced that it will award 5 full scholarships to Palestinians who want to enroll in its Executive Presidential Leadership Program. The institution will additionally offer online courses to 200 Palestinians in management, technology, and policy making. Egypt is a laureate of Shining World Leadership Awards for Peace and Earth Conservation. Our sincere gratitude, Egypt, for your diplomacy and generous expressions of oneness. We pray that the resolute people of Palestine will find comfort in the overflowing love of Allah.
Seychelles sees a rise in COVID infections despite vaccines. In spring 2021, the archipelago of 115 islands in the Indian Ocean was the first African nation to fully vaccinate more than 60% of its population. Yet the number of new cases increased from 120 reported on April 30th to over 300 per day on May 7th and 8th. The situation has since improved, but the surge caused concern because 37% of the patients were people who had received 2 doses of vaccine. The World Health Organization is investigating to understand more about strains that are circulating and other aspects such as the severity of the cases. Our prayers are with the diligent frontline personnel as well as the affected individuals. May humanity do its part to mitigate misery in the world by cherishing all beings and embracing a vegan lifestyle in celestial wisdom.
Entrepreneur wins acclaim for innovative housing designs. Philip Kafka, director and president of Prince Concepts, began purchasing real estate in Detroit, Michigan, USA in 2012. Since then, his property development and management company has built affordable housing, created public spaces, and planted more than 300 trees in a neighborhood known as Core City. Mr. Kafka has made use of Quonset huts, prefabricated semi-cylindrical structures of corrugated galvanized steel that minimize construction costs and lend a unique architectural style to his buildings. The latest project, dubbed the Caterpillar, contains 8 apartments featuring hardwood floors, abundant natural light, and lofty ceilings. Way to go, Philip Kafka and Prince Concepts, for your remarkable creativity in service to the residents of Detroit. In heaven's abundant grace, may real estate developers and landlords worldwide make it easier for people to find and afford the shelter they need.
The National Assembly in France has voted to reduce plastic waste. As part of a comprehensive climate and resilience bill, members of parliament approved a measure that would require supermarkets 400 square meters and larger to dedicate 20% of their floor space to bulk bins. This means shoppers could fill their own reusable containers when buying dry goods, such as grains, beans, and granola. The draft legislation is the result of proposals developed by the Citizens' Convention on Climate, which wants to achieve a 40% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, compared to 1990 levels. The bill has been forwarded to the Senate for debate and approval before it becomes law. We sincerely appreciate the French National Assembly's efforts to preserve the environment and bring the country closer to carbon neutrality. We pray there will soon be additional statutes that usher in an era of compassionate veganism and God's mercy.
Rwandan preschoolers receive picture books designed by teens in the United States. Books and Beyond USA or BBUSA is a literacy initiative that gives students in American schools an opportunity to participate in publishing books for children in Rwanda. In 2020, BBUSA partnered with Philadelphia Performing Arts High School in Pennsylvania, USA, to create a book entitled Baskets of Fun Under the Sun. Despite the pandemic, 21 students collaborated virtually to create 36 pages of illustrations. The finished project features vivid images of things that are culturally relevant to Rwandan kids, such as flowers, beans, tomatoes, and monkeys. The teenage artists were thrilled to learn that about 1,000 young readers each received a copy of the book recently. Our hearts are touched by your fruitful endeavor, BBUSA, and participating high school students. In divine splendor, may we see more of the world's countries establish such rainbow connections.
Nutritionist explains how to stop consuming animal products. Rohini Bajekal, who works at Plant-Based Health Professionals UK, has written a comprehensive guide to leaving meat, dairy, and fish behind. Published by The Independent, a popular British online newspaper, the article details a regimen that has been shown to prevent many chronic diseases. Ms. Bajekal recommends switching gradually to a diet of minimally processed whole foods, including grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. She says the key to getting sufficient protein is consuming a good variety of things like lentils, tofu, and tempeh. The nutritionist concludes, when it comes to plant-based diets, there is nothing to lose and everything to gain. Our heartfelt appreciation, Rohini Bajekal, for helping others to upgrade their lifestyles. May heaven bless you and your clients for being in the vanguard of enlightened eating.
Orphaned elephant continues to thrive at Wildlife Haven. An albino elephant calf named Kanyisha was rescued from a poaching snare in South Africa's Kruger National Park. Fortunately, her wounds and trauma have healed nicely at Hertzsprung Elephant Rehabilitation and Development, or HERD. Adin Road, the sanctuary's founder, says that more animals are being trapped as the human population increases and habitats are lost. Many of the elephants at herd were hand-raised, so they relate to Kanyisha and allow her to use their shadows as protection from the sun. A motherly Pedi sheep named Lami understands the baby elephant's need for emotional security and lets the calf sleep with her at night. Our delighted applause Adin Road and staff at Herd for taking such good care of the gentle orphans. We pray that Kanyisha and all young animals will enjoy long and fulfilling lives in heaven's embrace.